Hello, good morning. Good morning to all, and welcome back to our program. Today, we are pleased to welcome Mrs. Arlette Knight-Olton. Arlette is a salon operator at 101 Style here in Barbados, and she's also a highly trained trichologist. Arlette is also the president of the BBPA, which is the Barbados Beauty Professionals Association. Please join me in welcoming Arlette. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
Arlette.
Dawn.
Let's jump right in. I have my whole list of questions right here. So let's start
Mhm.
talking a little bit about your profession. Can you tell us a little bit about your business? How long have you been in this industry?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure for you, Dawn, and the team to find it interesting that you would be interested in the Barbados Beauty Professional Association and as an extension myself. I've been in this. I tend to say to people that I would stop at 30 years. But I've been in this already long time, closer to 40 years. I've always wanted to do two things in my life, and that was to become a clinical psychologist or a cosmetologist. However, the latter, cosmetology, won the battle. So the clinical psychology went on the side, not it just put down for the moment. Um, and I have been passionate and I have been very involved from the get go, knowing what I want to do. And so I pursue it. I train initially locally, but I've traveled throughout the US to do international training. I've trained at Dulles International. I've trained with the Trichology Association, Trichology, the International Institute of Trichology, that was done in 1997. Started in 1997, and that took me 4 years. I trained as an apprentice for one full year with a salon that was up and has its own standing for 1 year. And then I went into my own business, and I've been doing that since up to now, from 1977 up to now. So
That
it's a long time.
that is quite a bit of experience. So before we go any further, can you tell the rest of us that do not know what exactly is a trichologist? You mentioned your training just now. What is a trichologist? What does a trichologist do?
A trichologist, we deal with disorders of the scalp. We deal with things like psoriasis. We deal with eczema. We deal with thinning hair, hair loss, the whole gamut along with having a healthy scalp, diseases of the scalp. So a trichologist do all those things. We are between the general practitioner and dermatologist. So we might see things that tends not to be as urgent, let me use that word, for a medical practitioner. And so we are more intimately involved in diagnosing the different conditions, because you might go to a doctor and say, okay, I'm having this issue with my hair thinning, or I'm having this issue with my hair itching on my scalp and stuff. And rather than deal with the issue that's causing it, they might give you a medication or something that will just quiet it down for a while. But if you know what is causing it, then it can be better treated. So that's where the trichologists come in. We trained for uh, the training was like 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and it involved 20 hours of clinical work.
That is a lot of training, Arlette. That's the
Yes.
deep area of study. Oh my goodness. So, based on your vast experience, what you think are the most important factors in determining your scalp's health and your hair's health?
Okay. A clean scalp is a healthy scalp,
Okay.
but it starts from your inner. You know, they say beauty comes from within.
Yes.
So our course as a trichologist dealt with, as again, diseases of the scalp. Part of it was nutrition as well. So it's about taking care of your inner self, eating the right foods, balanced foods. Um, it is more about what you eat, because some of the things we eat can trigger some of the challenges we have with our scalp. So I believe, and I've trained on this premise, that we need to find someone who's professional if we are having a challenge and help diagnose it rather than we doing it ourselves. Because sometimes it could just be like, it can be, okay, these are things that you should avoid. Certain foods, there are certain products that you should avoid. You also need to manage your stress levels.
Hmm.
So all these things help to having your scalp and you as a healthy person. Once you're healthy and you shampoo your hair um, every week, maximum of every 2 weeks, then your scalp and your hair should be healthy.
Okay. I never thought about all of that, to tell the truth, Arlette. But I guess your scalp is just an extension of your skin, which is an organ. So whatever
Yes,
is that's coming in is what's
yes,
going out. And then we have the role of then of the stuff that we put in our hair, the products, I
yes.
guess. The products also affect our scalp.
Yes, it does. If we are using the wrong types of products, because let me use a classic example. You might have an itchy scalp and you decide to use what I would call like a dandruff shampoo. Or you go to the doctor and he prescribes shampoo for you, a medical shampoo. It might take care of your scalp, but chances are you will lose your hair. Not lose it because you have hair loss, but particular shampoo is so drying that it then your hair becomes dry and dry hair breaks. So be guided that you need to use the right product.
So at 101, you deal with the issues of the scalp, but what else do you do there? Or people come to you specifically for issues relating to their scalp?
No, actually, I'm a cosmetologist as
Ah,
well.
right. Tell us a little bit more about that and
I
the
was
general
I was
services.
trained right. I was trained first as a cosmetologist, and because I have this great interest in education and knowledge, is what led me to becoming a trichologist. Um, the I saw we do everything at the salon. I work with natural hair. I'm a master colorist. I we do chemicals, we relax, we texturize, we do perms, all types. We do everything that you can want done to your hair.
Ah, a full service
Hmm.
salon.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me ask you this, Arlette. You know that when the pandemic came, so many businesses were affected and it changed our way of life. Did you see any changes in your business? How did you manage since 2020?
Since 2020, I think I did well. COVID did some good things for me. I know it did some bad things as well, but it did. I use it from a positive perspective. I, at my age, I'm trying to downsize. That allowed me to do that. Um, I have a much smaller salon now, serving me well. But my clients, because we kept communicating with each other, I provided some of the things they need, not the services, but the product that, and taught them how to take care of their own hair. So I right now, um, I am actually back to pre-COVID times. Yes, I'm back to managing is looking at a situation and seeing how best you can manage it and not let it manage you. So right now we are back to pre-COVID time. So it gives me some perspective on what to focus on.
Okay. So generally speaking, I I find it interesting that women will always find a way of taking care of themselves, regardless of their
Hmm.
budget levels and their hair and their skin, is especially here in our culture, I guess, and elsewhere. Just because you've been in this for, I don't want to say so many, but quite a few decades.
Hmm.
What changes have you seen generally in the cosmetology business in the beauty industry as the years go by, as opposed to 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
I've seen a lot of people transition into being natural, and COVID also helped with that. But I'm also seeing a lot of people transitioning back out to chemical hair because for in order to manage your natural hair, it takes a commitment. It takes a commitment to having any. It is a commitment to having your hair, whether it is chemically altered or it is in its natural state. But it is time consuming for natural hair. It is not always ready. Someone will call you and say, "Okay, let's go tonight, Dawn, and hang out." And it's like, I need to get my hair done. I need to do my hair, and it's not an instant fix. But the trend is coming in where people are wearing their hair in ways that we might not have liked before. But I believe once the hair is healthy, I'm game, whether it's short, long, natural process. I've also seen a lot of wigs coming in. People are now wearing more wigs, braiding more. And so those are the things that are trending right now.
Okay. And you think it's more, as you were saying, more accepting? Because a couple of years ago, a decade or two ago, natural hair, you wear your hair in cornrows, it didn't go with the corporate sector, so to speak. But you think that people are more accepting now of all different types, weave, braids, natural,
Hmm.
relaxer, that even the corporate world is more accepting of those hairstyles that work, say?
Yes, I believe that they have. They might have done it fighting, but it is what it is. If I want to wear my hair natural, I think that should be my choice and not someone else's. Want as long as it is tidy and professional, I don't see why not. Yes, so I'm seeing more people in banks. I'm seeing more people in corporate offices wearing their hair. However,
This is good news. This is good news. I remember
mhm.
years ago, I was in a corporate office and a lady told me that I had highlights at the time. She said, "Your highlights are too blonde for."
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yes, they're still trying to manage that to some degree, and I think I can understand as a professional. Um, I don't have a problem with someone. I have a client who last year, a year before, she was like, my hair can't be too bright, but no, she's platinum, and she's in the same job. I think the pause comes when she takes that platinum and turn it blue, or she turns it pink, because then she becomes the center of attention rather than doing the work. Yeah.
So Arlette, how if someone wants to book an appointment with you for the salon, you said you're is scaled down, but you're still open and still doing a thriving business. How do they contact you? How do they reach you? Where is your
Uh,
salon?
my salon is in Dover, Christchurch,
Mm-hmm.
and the name of it is 101 Style. Our telephone number is 427-1719. If you're calling from outside of Barbados, as I have clients who do not always live in Barbados, the area code is 246. And or they can reach me on my mobile, which is 266-2629.
Okay, so they can speak to you on either level. If they have a special scalp issue, you see them there at the salon as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, I've learned a few things this morning. So I'm going to invite you now, Arlette, to share a little bit about the Barbados Beauty Professional Association and start by telling us what inspired you to start this association and get it up and running.
Actually, I am one of those people who tend to like to work in the back. and not be upfront. And so there were a number of other groups trying to get it off the ground. And that's where we came in. If someone said to me earlier, we need to get better standards for our industry. We need to get people certified, qualified, and we are now working on licensing. But starting the association, it is easier than it looks. It is a lot of work. It's an extra job to do it. Um, Getting all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. You have to deal with government. You have to deal with people who are in the industry. And so to do it, then we came together, a group of us came together and said, okay, let's do this. So we started it not knowing what it was going to balloon into. We just thought, it's so easy. We can do this and we can, but realizing that it is not that. It is not. Things are going slower than we expected to because we depend on other industry, other government entities to assist us in this process. So it has taken a while, but the the more that you're in it, the more involved you get, and you see where it can go and how it can formalize our industry, so that when others on the outside looking in, they can see that we are professional, trained, we are certified, moving towards licensing. So that's where we want to go. We want, as our name said, better beauty standards, which I think is great. That's what we're moving towards for the association.
Because somebody said to me the other day, Arlette, that anybody can open a salon in their backyard, in their kitchen, and start doing hair in Barbados. And I didn't even know that.
Yes, you can, and that's what we are trying. We're not trying to ostracize anyone. We
Mhm.
are trying to say, okay, if you're not certified, that's fine. We can show you the steps how to do that. There are different. There are schools in Barbados, government and private schools that you can go to. You cannot do a hairdressing course in 6 weeks. You cannot. You cannot cover all that needs to be covered in 6 weeks. So we're saying if you did 6 weeks, you would have learned something from that. So let us guide you then what else you have to do in order to deal with a person, because we need to understand that we are working with a person. That person is biology in a bubble, and you're using a chemical. So how are you interacting? Do you know how to do a consultation? Consultation. You have to know where you're starting to know where you're going to end. So that's why we are fighting for this to legalize. I should say legalize, although I don't think anyone is breaking any laws. But you might be harming people if you are doing things and not quite sure that you know what you're doing.
So would you say that's the goal of the association, to bring about certification and legalize?
Yes, there are some certified professionals in the industry in Barbados, but there are also some who are not certified. And we want to get everyone certified. We want to get everyone operating to specific standards so that wherever you go, you're getting similar. We are governed by the standards. That's what not only me but our executive wants Barbados to be governed by standards, international standards as well. Right? I went to Russia, and when I came back, I was in awe at how they operated at World Skills International, and that drove me more to continue pushing this.
Because as you are you saying, Arla, yeah, I'm now here thinking of the scope of this thing because there's so many variables in skin type, not only in skin types and allergies and all of that sort of thing, but you're also dealing with personalities when they come into your salon. And then you're dealing with the variables of all the different, you have the braiding and relaxer, texturizer, and coloring, and there's so much to this industry. It is really mind-boggling when you
It
think about
is
it. Yeah.
because you also have not only the hairdressing aspect of it, but you have estheticians. You have people who are doing lashes, who are doing eyebrows, who are doing tattooing, barbers as well. So all of that is, I mean, you are dealing with a human. So I think that we from the association believe that you should know what you're doing. And that not only you learn this in 1997 like I did, I am now on the scope to go back into trichology to see what else I can come away with. I was having a conversation with a colleague of mine this morning, and she was like, "Yes, Carla, because we did it together. We did it so long ago. I need to do a refreshers course. I travel every year to international shows where that I do classes, and I've been in this so long. So our industry change things change so rapidly. The product you use, the relaxers you use, texturizers you use, there's a time factor with color. No, you don't have to wait as long as some colors. You don't have as when you're mixing colors. The time factor is involved in that. The consultation with what type of hair you can put that color on, if it is able to carry that, if it is strong enough to carry that type of color, and all these things need to be. You need to know these things.
Because even as you're also saying, I mean, it's like technology and how the phones are always changing. So
Hmm.
with this industry, the technology is changing, the chemicals are changing, and the knowledge, I would think, is changing. So,
Yes.
and the styles are changing. So there's a lot of
Hmm.
constant growth going on. So I think I'm asking, if being a member of your association, what would be the benefits of joining your association?
Is that we will help you to grow your business. We would, some of the things that we do, but we want our industry to be respected, and you earn respect. So for some of these, we need them to come under the blanket of the BBPA so that we can help them to gain access to promotion and freebies, develop business skills, and enhance professional and technical skills, network with your peers and key industry leaders, be more involved in the development of the local industry, taking advantage of this is the one that's most important to me,
Okay.
taking advantage of subsidizing training, discount on education and potential travel opportunities. No one can take your knowledge from you. So if you know, um, there's you can watch me don't apply a relaxer, and I might apply the relaxer. How do you know that I'm doing it right? As a stylist, how do you know that I'm doing it right? So I might have someone watch me and say, well, I could go home and do that. But I have done a consultation with you, so I know which strength I should use. I know if you are sensitive, and if you're sensitive, it means you either have seborrheic dermatitis or you have some form of um, eczema. So you're going to be sensitive if I put a sodium hydroxide relaxer on you. So I would have to switch that relaxer. How long do I leave it on? Is your hair thick? Is it medium? Is it fine? I can't use the same relaxer on someone who's fine that I use on someone who's coarse. I can't. So you make those judgments. How long do I leave it on?
So it's a
So
lot of
there's so
training.
many factors.
Mhm.
There's so many factors. And so we want our industry to be educated and grounded so they can deliver confidently to the whichever sector of the industry they're in, do it and do it well.
So all are welcome. What are the types of you mentioned those that do eyebrows, barbers, hair braiders.
Anybody that is considered in the industry, in the anyone that is considered in our industry, cosmetologists, estheticians, nail techs, barbers, colorists, because you might have somebody who just do colors. You might just have somebody who does cutting, people who also does extensions, braiders, wig makers, even someone who is a beauty distributor can come into our can join our industry. We need to do this together.
It's true. There's a lot of things you don't think about. I mean, Arlette, one day I braided my hair and I felt my scalp was on fire. I mean, literally on fire. I have never felt such thing. And it's only doing the research that I realized that there's a chemical something on top of some of the braid hair that people are allergic to, and I was highly allergic. But I mean, all
See?
of these.
You see, I always say to my, because I've done braiding too. I braid, but I'm way past that now.
Mhm.
But braiding, I always shampoo or soak my braids once I get them from the client. I prepare them by soaking them in vinegar and water
Yeah, I
and
started
then
doing
hang
that.
them, wash them and hang them. Yeah, because it is made with a chemical. So you have to be conscious. You also have to be able to identify when someone is having mechanical damage. Mechanical damage is where you lose the hairline. We say that we're doing the braiding for is a protective style, but is it really? If you're losing your hairline, is it really protective? It isn't. So once your brother says to you, as she notices it, as she is educated and she knows what to look for, she can say to you, Don, I think you should hold off braiding for a while. That way she will maintain a client because they would go away thinking she has my best interest at heart.
So the association will also train you how to take care of your people holistic, not just think about doing a process, but thinking of
Hmm.
their general health period and advising
Yes,
them as
period.
such.
Yes.
Okay. So how, okay, Arlie, is there like a membership fee? Do you join for the year? How does that work?
Yes, there is a membership fee, which is $60. The different tiers of the association.
Okay.
The membership fee would get you in to be a member, but get you in
Mm-hmm.
as registration. Then you will be notified that we receive your application. Then you will provide for us your certification, and then a decision will be made by a committee on if you have been successful. So let's say for argument's sake that we are requiring that you do 200 hours in order to become a member. If you've only done 190, we can look and see where it is that you can top up. So say you're pedicurist and you may need to top up in the area of hygiene. We can mentor you into doing that. And then you get a certificate saying that you've spent 10 hours doing this. So you've now come to 200 hours. So 200 hours, then you become part of the profession because we have a segment, we have a tier for students as well. We have a tier for contributors. We have a tier for sponsors, and I think there's another tier. So sponsors, if you want to come in and sponsor, you can do that. And so there are different tiers, but this is also found on our website, which is www.better underscore beauty underscore standards.
Okay, so something for everybody, whether you're a student, whether you're experienced, there is a benefit to be had from joining the association
Yes,
because it seems
there
very
is.
extensive and well thought out to me.
Yes, it's a long time. It really is a long time in coming, and we can't stop now. We have to keep doing this because this is a profession that I love. I really do love it. I love, I've been, my clients are my friends, they're my family. They look to me for advice about not only their hair, about other things, because I'm also a trained counselor. So there's so many things you can become to someone who trusts you. My relationship with my clients is based on trust. My advice every year, my clients say, "When is it that you're going to your training again?" And they look forward to me doing the training because they know I'm going to come back with something new, something different. So I really would like our industry to be exposed to that.
It seems like, as the word says, the older will train the younger. So a lot of these young ladies now coming into the industry need to learn the finer nuances of all that you have to consider is not just doing here and ending at that. And it's, yeah. And so being a part of the association, they get training, they get advice, and they get counseling, and they will get some wisdom, it seems like.
Yes.
So, what would you say, Arlette, is the main activities of the association on, say, a daily basis? What happens?
On a daily basis, we are this is the big thing. The just launching um, of the BBPA online platforms. This is the big thing now. But a lot of it is done with behind doors meetings. Like we some of our supporters are people like BEC, Barbados Employees Confederation, BCSI. They're holding our hands in this process, and BNSI, Barbados National Standard Institute. So they are going to help us to set up the standards. So that's what we're doing with them. We are working with BCSI. They're helping us with our, not the bylaws, with our strategic planning and constitution. So that's where we are now. But this is December, and we don't we are swamped, and so December is going to take a soft landing right now until January starts again. We will still do some things. We will still meet and plan for 2023, but the other things we are depending on some government entities to come through for us in 2023. I've been working with different programs I want to put on, but not me, the Barbados Beauty Professional Association, because we would like our industry to understand pricing of goods and services. So that is on our. I've been working with this a long time though, but I'm working with government, so you know how that goes. They're busy, and so we are working on that as we speak.
So, are you welcoming membership at the moment, or when these things
Yes,
are?
we are
Yes.
Yes, no, we're right now
Hmm.
we're welcoming members. They just need to go to the website
Okay.
and yes, and sign in to which tier they want to be in. Register and yes,
So all
once
of
you
that
get
would
your
be on the
email,
website.
yes, once you get your email
Hmm.
that we've received your application form,
Yes.
yes, we will send you that email. We will check it. We will require some stuff of you, and then you can go ahead and make your payment online.
Okay. I think I've asked you if someone's interested, they can go to the website. You said they're dues, but it also depends on the tier that you're taking.
Hmm.
And we understand all
If
the
you have this certification.
if you have the certification. And if you
Hmm.
don't have it, you can walk them through to hold their hand till they get there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. We're
Okay.
not. We embracing.
Okay. I must say congratulations though, because I can understand all the legalities and everything of trying to start something of this magnitude. So well done,
Hmm.
Arlette, and congratulations. And
Thank
I
you.
wish you all the very best. And we will be sharing your the website and everything as well as your numbers so that people can contact you. So thank you so much, Arlette, for joining us this morning and telling us all about not only yourself and the salon and the industry and the changes that you're seeing, but also about the association, which can just benefit so many out there that are in this field. So thank you, Arlette.
I just want to say thanks to the our executive.
Yes.
We have two floor members, Sandra Britton and Deborah Proverbs. Pauline Hayward is our secretary. Benita Boyce is our treasurer. And this has been a team effort. I mean, we did not imagine that it was so much work to be done to do this. And I just want the industry in Barbados to realize that we are doing, but we need to wait on the expertise of the people who are the expert to guide us into this to make this a success.
Well, I wish you all the success in the world. It is needed. It is needed.
Yes,
It is
yes.
very much
So
needed.
I want to
And it
thank
is
you all
such
for
a
entertaining me.
humongous industry. I always
Yes,
find
it
it
is.
amusing, Arlette, that you would see a hair store here. I'll give you an example. There was a retail outlet downstairs of my church, and two or three different businesses set up and fail. And the hair store came and never shut down, has constant business. So obviously, this is something that, regardless, as you said, with the pandemic and the fluctuations, it still worked out. Yes. So they definitely need the association and all of those that are involved in the industry, since it's so growing and so expanding always, and people are always interested in these areas. It is good that should be regulated and licensed and trained, and even if dealing with
Hmm.
people and clients as people and
Yes,
not just a head of hair or what have you. So thank you so much.
yes. You're most welcome.
Thank you for viewing. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and bookmark our websites. If you are a professional interested in contributing to the discussion, please call or email us at the contact information on your screen. Until next time, keep innovating. All the very best from the Rethink family.